Paul Minogue is a tax specialist from Manchester who lives in London and is here tonight to talk about how he overcame personal difficulties through practicing the power of silence. Your last speaker of the evening, Paul!
So who here has ever been through anxiety or depression? I know I have. One of the things I found was that I went through a combination of both. And anxiety was, I wouldn't say it was nice, but it was probably the better of the two because you were trying to fight to stay alive. Whereas depression was the opposite. It was kind of, don't really care anymore, and you go a bit flat and you've got no energy to do anything. So a bit of background about me to say how my process of going through anxiety and depression was and how I came out of it, thankfully. So I'm from Manchester. I know you can't hear it in the accent. But then I moved down to London to study originally to do medicine. So that was my thought process. I'm going to do medicine. Family told me I'd do medicine. Teachers told me I'd do medicine. And I was just kind of going along with the motions. So I was very good at sciences and maths. And I remember one day the teacher pulls me in because they were trying to give you practice for an interview before going into university. And they said, so, standard question, why do you want to do medicine? At which point, me being 17-year-old me turns around and goes, I don't know if I do. And she kind of goes, oh, we were worried about that. So I kind of carried on, very sensible person who I am, and went to university, did biomedical science, did a master's in preventive cardiology, and was heading towards medicine. Anyway, medicine never quite worked out. And by the time I got to 25, I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to have to start earning money at some point. So I was working whilst finishing my master's, and I was like, I quite enjoy this. And then I thought, well, I've got to learn about business. So that's how I became an accountant. Anyway, when I moved to do accountancy, I moved down to Reading. And this was the first time I had to face up and be by myself. And this is when anxiety and depression just culminated and hit me. And I had no family around, no friends. And it was the best thing to happen to me, actually, because you go through it. And like I said, the first time you ever get to confess and actually look at yourself. So thankfully, I am close to my family. And the first thing I would advise anyone, actually, is to open up. If you're going through anything, talk about it. And I could talk to my siblings on the phone, or if I'd ever go and see them on a weekend, and that's what I would do. But there were three things for me which really helped. And the first one was going to see a therapist. That was really good, so I got to talk about it and open up. The second thing was meditation. So when I was doing my exams for accountancy, one day I picked up a book, I started reading and go, sounds interesting, and I thought I'd give it a go. And then the third thing was motivational videos and things like that, and speeches, etc. So I thought, tonight I'm going to speak to you about meditation, just give you an example of what happened. And one of the interesting things which was brought up before is that no one can tell. So when I was in Reading, I was in work for the first time by myself. I'm sitting in the office, and I've got all these people talking to me. And on the inside, I'm burning up. I'm physically burning up. I just want to run, really run. And I remember I just had to stay there and get through the day and then go home. But every morning I started the practice of trying meditation, and my anxiety was very strange. So I'd be scared of everything, like anything. I was like, oh, if I meditate, I don't know, I might start believing in a three-headed elephant or something. So I'd get very scared, and I'd sit there. But there was this one day in particular, and when it was building and building and building, I had this couch in my room, and I was like, I'm just going to sit with it. I've read this book, it all makes sense. I've got this app, Headspace, and all this kind of thing. So I'm going to try it. So I sat there with my app, playing the thing, and I'm sitting there going, oh no, I need to run, I need to run, I need to run, I need to run, I need to run. I was like, no, just sit there. And you've got this logical argument kind of saying, you're going to be fine, you're going to be fine. And then you've got your emotion saying, I'm not going to be fine, I'm scared. And it makes no sense, absolutely no reason to be scared or anything. But I sat there, and I was focusing on my breath, trying to do what I was doing, and just in silence, no one speaking, complete silence. And this thing's building and building and building, and I just sat there, and then it just went. It came back, obviously. But you're breaking those cycles, and that's what it is. It's all about breaking the cycles and breaking the habits. And that's what therapy taught me. It's about breaking the habits. Meditation reinforced it, and then the motivational speeches kind of gave me a new outlook on life. So if I was going to advise anything, well, there's two things I'd advise. The first is talk to someone. If there is something going on, you have to tell someone, because you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. And the second thing is try something. So for me, it was meditation and all these other things, but just try something. And it might not work the first time, might not work the second time, but then try something else. So thank you for listening. Yeah, thank you.
Well done. Thank you.